Pleasant good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mikey, and here you.
Pleasant good evening, Lieutenant Commander. It's a pleasure having you, of course. Please tell the listening public, who is Lieutenant Commander Norman Dindial?
Mikey, thanks a lot for being able to introduce myself. Well, I am the coordinator for the National Transformation Alliance Central. I'm also a 27-year career military officer. I have been in all aspects of maritime affairs in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a ship's captain, maritime officer. And recently I just concluded some engagements with the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime in the region of Eastern Africa, counter piracy operations of the Gulf of Aden, and trying to bring up their Coast Guard agencies in that area to make them more productive for border control and counter drug efforts.
Wonderful.
So that's the summation.
Wonderful. And then it brings us right back to home. Why are we failing as far as crime and our borders? What's missing? I mean, besides the will, from your perspective, you've also worked at the National Operations Center, which I thought was a brilliant idea. Being able to see what was going on, be able to react in time that was, record time. What's missing?
Well, Mikey, what is missing right now, as you could recognize, and you said, the National Operation Command Center, that has gone through so many evolutions. And with every single administration has come into play. What they have seen is that they have looked at this operation center as more like a political figure, a political football. They don't actually use it for crime prevention. They see the individuals that they place there as people beholding on to them and beholding down to them. So having crime as their forefront, what happens is that you have the individuals there losing the ability because they continue moving individuals from those agencies, and they keep building new agencies in order to fulfill their own game. So we have a lack of political will, I would say, a lack of political will in order to actually do things. So even if you see, look, if we have however, the government they're not funding the Coast Guard for them to get fuel for their vessels. So the vessels are alongside. On any given day, you can see mariners going past and passing the Coast Guard based on all the vessels that Dr. Rowley and his administration have brought in. They're all parked alongside. And why is that? Why is that? They're not doing anything, they say.
Yeah, but Commander, in this day and age, we're still hearing about the fact that fuel is not being bought. There's parts that need to be there. And basically, the message that is sent to those who are working in many of these fields is that, you're working just good enough to stay hired and, just barely enough so you won't be fired. They must feel demotivated. There are people who want to go out there. They don't want to make complaints and excuses when it comes to doing their job. They love Trinidad and Tobago. They want to secure our borders. They want to deal with human trafficking. They want to deal with narco trafficking. So basically, you're saying that the will to make it a priority. After 600 plus murders and no telling what we're going to have in 2023, why do we still have this mentality that, hey, it's going to fix itself?
And so true. We have that mentality that it's going to fix itself. We don't have people in the right places with their hearts in the right places. The ones that are actually going to do the things and do the job and make the hard decisions. So the good men and women of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and the Defense Force, Coast Guard as border control, they really want to go out and do their job. But when they come to work, the ship, how can you tell me a ship can't go to sea because of you? That is inconceivable. So you have a ship, a multi-million-dollar asset, which is supposed to protect our borders, that's sitting there. So the frustration is rampant and moral decay within the services themselves. So you don't even have individuals in the service with any moral. The moral has dropped. So gentlemen are just coming to work, and the ships are there. They're just sitting there with nothing to do, and the government is doing nothing about it. In fact, and one of our things as country as a whole, we are very, very, very bad in maintenance. So we don't maintain any of our assets. So our multi-million-dollar assets, marine assets, go unmaintained, and they fall by. We even have that in the police service. So our maintenance of our assets is not happening, even in our national operation center. So our infrastructure and stuff for communication, those things, they're all falling by. If you recently go to the prison, if you're outside the prison, we still have a prison in the middle of Trinidad and Tobago, Port of Spain. And the prison should have been moved so long ago. And we have cameras that are not working. We have people still putting things over the wall with drones. And you're telling me that we, as a country, with all the available infrastructure and information, now we can't utilize that. It's a lack of willpower.
It has to be, Lieutenant, because we have press conferences after press conferences. 600 murders. More than 90% of those murders were committed by guns. We have no gun manufacturing company in Trinidad and Tobago. We don't have people who assemble them here. So it means they're coming from the outside. So if we really want to put a lockdown on what's taking place, one would think that securing the borders, that in itself would have a domino effect with securing the citizenry. Why, after so much time has lapsed, that is not made a priority?
Correct. And I will go even furthermore to state that we have these illegal firearms coming through our seaport, the legal seaport, and through our airports. But what has happened is that we don't have the people and the equipment for doing all the scanning. So our containers are coming in through the port in Port of Spain, and merely 1% of the containers are scanned. The equipment was bought, and right now the equipment may be obsolete, or even the software for the equipment and the upgrade of the equipment. So we have those things. Now, we already spoke about the Coast Guard not being able to go anywhere, right, because the Coast Guard is just doing very menial patrols, as we said, for our border security, because of the lack of funding for fuel, a very basic thing like that. So when that capitulates down and the domino effect into our system, we don't have anybody, or we don't even want to implement the container scanning program to scan some of our containers that are coming in. So what we have, some of our agencies, our partner organizations from foreign, they don't mind when things leave their country. The things can leave, but the onus is upon us. We have to put things in place to make sure that illegal contraband and illegal firearms and stuff don't come into our port. That is our responsibility. And we have been shirking that responsibility time and time again.
And I agree with you. And let me ask you now, before we wrap up, 3 things. If you are given the mandate, the National Transformation Alliance is in there, and they say, listen, Lieutenant, this is your job, you get in there. What are the 3 first things that you would do to make sure that this thing does not continue? Tell us.
Thank you for that question. And that falls right into what the National Transformation Alliance is looking to do with our LAMP 1. Leadership, accountability, management, and performance. That is some of the things. We need the proper leaders in place. We need to make sure that we don't put square pegs in round holes. In every single institution that they've found in Trinidad and Tobago, and I don't want to go into the Commissioner of Police and how that went, but even in the defense force, we have people that have been put in place because the selection process for individuals to go further has nothing to do with meritocracy and professionalism. It also always has to do with who they feel comfortable with and administration. So we have to get rid of that. So the National Transformation Alliance will put the right people in the correct positions, regardless of any political party.
Right. So that's one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So once you're there, regardless, we will do that. And we intend to hold individuals accountable.
Nice.
So when you have done things that results that requires that, we intend to hold you accountable, and the public sees what we do. And this is the third thing, and that falls, as I said, exactly our management of performance and measurement of performance. If you cannot come up to the bar, we will make sure that you are removed and someone competent enough is put in place to do the job of the public and the people.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Commander, I want to thank you so much for taking time out. All the best of luck to you and your entire team. And it's been a pleasure. We'll be talking again periodically. I know you have a lot more to share with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.